What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we have our best beginner's guide for the brand new RPG gacha game, Eroica. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up this video for more amazing mobile gaming content. We're going to jump over a variety of tips and strategies to help get you started. First thing we're going to talk about is the re-rolling system. When you first start off, the game is very generous and it will let you re-roll up to 40 times your first 10 pull. So I got a couple characters that I just want to mention to be on the lookout for that you definitely want to start off with. First one being melavi. She is a fire type damage dealer. She has some amazing AoE damage. You don't necessarily need to know what a specific character is in these types of games to know who you should get. A really easy strategy you can use across any game is to just look for characters that have AoE damage. Those are always good characters. Ones that are really good at healing, have AoE healing, the ability to resurrect heroes. Those are always really strong characters that you want to start off with. Another amazing character to look out for is Wraith. She is a dark element. Her special ability does a bunch of damage to a target, but more importantly, makes it so that they cannot heal for a certain amount of turns. And then the third one that you want to look out for is Orslaha. I think that's how you say her name. She is a light element, really strong single target damage. Take a look at her special or ultimate ability, whatever you want to call it. Deals 150% of attack to a target. She only hits one target, but it is a lot of damage. And then the second special ability does a bunch of damage to all enemies with the ability to put the shock effect on them as well. Most levels you can just click auto in the top right corner and it'll move your character throughout the level. However, if you do it on auto, the computer will not interact with your environment, so you can miss out on a lot of really good resources. So sometimes it is a lot better for you to just kind of manually move around and look for stuff. Sometimes you'll find treasure chests. Sometimes you'll find just hidden things around the map that if you had it on auto, you wouldn't be able to pick up. We have the ascension system. Now this is based off of how many stars your character has. Every time you ascend them and they get an additional star, they can learn a new passive ability. The more stars, the more passive abilities the character can have. You'll see that I already assigned a bunch of them. Now the game gives you two options. From what I've gathered from this game, I've been reading all of the different ascensions for the different characters. It seems like there's two very simple basic builds, so you don't really have to overthink this. And what I mean by that is you don't have to kind of come in here and think oh, do I need to take the top or the bottom one? And then for the second one, should I take the bottom one or the top one? You know what I mean? If you read all of the top passive abilities, they kind of all go together. And if you read all of the bottom passive abilities, they also go together. So from what I've gathered, it seems like if you want to go for one specific build, you're just going to take all of the top abilities. And then if you want the other build, you would just kind of take all of the bottom. And then if you kind of wanted to do a hybrid mix of something like your own, then you would just take a mixture of the top and the bottom. For instance, we went ahead and we have melavi. For her, I went with the top build. So for this, we're increasing our attack by a percentage, increasing penetration by a percentage, and then increase damage, and then increase attack, and then increase pen. Again, a technical kind of control build where you want to put lots of burn effects on your opponent instead of just focusing on doing as much damage as possible. So you'll see we have debuff dodge by a percentage, and then we have increased accuracy. So this is going to help us put the burn effect. This is going to help us dodge debuffs from our opponents. Then we have increase our chance to burn the enemies. It's got a very obvious pattern to it, and it goes like that for pretty much all of the characters. If you just kind of look at their builds and you just read the top ones, you can see that they all kind of go together. There's one main build, and then there's a secondary build at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bump myself over to the right so we can just go over a few of these. Attack and defense get weighed against each other to see what your damage output would be. Attack speed dictates your turn order, so the higher attack speed, basically the faster your character is. Crit is the stat that dictates whether you will hit someone for a crit attack, which will then be based on your crit damage. So it's a higher output of damage as opposed to just regular attack. To counter crit attacks from the opponent, you would go ahead with crit dodge. The next one would be accuracy and dodge. These two get weighed against each other. If you have more accuracy than your opponent has dodge, your hit goes through. If their dodge is higher than your accuracy, then they can avoid the damage altogether. Element attack has to do with the counter system, where you have fire beats grass and water beats fire. Element attack will help you put out more elemental damage when you have that advantage in the elemental wheel. Next, we have debuff hit and debuff dodge. This is again just counteracting each other. Debuff hit dictates whether you will put a debuff on your opponent, such as like a stun or putting them to sleep, putting their speed down, attack down, whatever it may be. And then debuff dodge lets you avoid those debuffs from your opponent. All right, and moving on, we are in the main menu now. Look at the right corner, we'll see this little kind of handshake icon. You're gonna click this, and this is a free 3-star hero that we will get, and all you gotta do is log in every day for 30 days. There are 3 different heroes you get to choose from. The first one that I'm gonna suggest is Eroica. She's just overall way better than the other 2. She has the ability to not only do damage to all enemies, but also inflict damage reduction down. Next tip I have is, if you ever don't know what you should be doing in the game, an easy thing to follow is the stamp tour. So in the bottom right section right here, it says stamp tour 1:10:23. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna click this. This is kind of like our new player's guide. All you gotta do is follow this, and it will unlock additional tutorials, and it'll tell you about different things in the game, and you'll also unlock free rewards as well. And then once you complete stamp tour 1, they have stamp tour 2, Stamp Tour 3, and finally Stamp Tour 4. And you see, you can get a lot of amazing hero shards for a variety of different characters. One of the best ways to power up your characters in this game is going to be through the gear system. And more importantly, the fact that as you equip certain pieces of gear, you will unlock these bonus sets. Now, each piece of gear in the bottom right corner will show what set it is for. The more pieces of gear you have equipped that have that emblem, you will get a bigger gear set bonus. And the gear set bonus is in the bottom left corner right under your character's power. If we click the shield icon, you'll see right now we have the Guardian set on this hero. We got 2 sets, so our defense is getting buffed by plus 20%. You don't need to worry about this too much early game, but this is something that's really going to help you out like mid to end game when you want to try and make like the complete best sets for certain characters. When you have like a damage dealer, you're going to want to put an attack set on them. If you have a tank, you're going to want to put the defense set on them. All right, and finally, my friends, wrapping this up, I just wanted to tell you how to play on emulator, because they were having a bit of problems since the last update that they did, and I couldn't get on the emulator. No one really could, but they did fix it. They just released an APK file about a few hours ago as of recording this. All you got to do is go to the Discord group for this game, and they actually posted the link to the APK file. You're just going to download that. Then in whatever emulator you are in, whether it be ldplayer or BlueStacks, I promote ldplayer because that's my sponsor. So if you want, go ahead, download, link down below for ldplayer 9. You're just going to go over to the menu where it says APK file. And then once you click install APK, it will open up the downloads file on your PC. And then you just click install the APK file that you just downloaded. I'll also leave the link to that APK file down below in the description box in case for whatever reason you don't want to join the Discord. And that is it for today, folks. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe, my friends. I'll see you all later. Peace.